Through our network, mostly. We have done zero marketing, at least so far. We mostly work with the Danish market, but we have a growing deal flow out of the UK and also to some extent out of North America. Most of us are Danes, and therefore we have our best network in Denmark, but we're not limited to serving the Danish market. What we've done is we have realized early on that we want to be able to scale our business with quality. Any business should think about that. Most consultants have a big problem because they can only scale by hiring another really good consultant. And they often fail on that track. So to us, having, if you look at the big number, about 200 experts out there, of which 75 or more are qualified, carrying the 1CT badge, means that we can call on these people. We know them, we work with them. They are excited to get involved in great projects. We are really an opportunity for them to sit on the fence. And for the companies, we are an opportunity to be exposed to experts that match your needs. And that's a problem very often. Because if you're a small company, you can easily find experts, but they may not be the right ones for you. And vice versa. If you're an expert, how can you find the right companies? We try to know enough experts that we can always match you with the right one and have a good enough deal flow that we can also make sure we bring companies of interest to you as an expert. There's not one answer to that question, because as much as you can have general approaches, you always have to look at every single company and say what's needed here. We think every company is facing a challenge similar to a decathlon, having to fight 10 different sports to win. And mostly these entrepreneurs, they only know how to win in 3 of the 10 or so. So what we do is we figure out, what about the other 7? What about the IP strategy of the company? What about international distribution? What about getting the right CEO in, if that's what you need? What about getting your company or your product ready for software as a service distribution and so on? These are all key questions which, depending on where you are and where your potential is, will be subjects for discussion. So we're not a factory line where you get sort of stuck on a conveyor belt and then stuff will happen to you as it did to the last guy. First of all, it's not a fund. It's an investment company. Fund rings a bell of a big bag of money. We do have lots of money available to us, but we have an investment company made up of investors that have made their own money from growing companies. So we are really in a situation now where we can offer capital from people that have made that money growing companies in the same way as you need to do as an entrepreneur. And we are collecting such investors. We have a good group of these investors now. They have given us a good sum of £1 million to basically make the first investments, and there's more coming. So basically, we are building a team of ambassadors, people that can basically not only help us in projects, but also put in capital behind into our investment company. That way we get a closed loop ecosystem here, so that everybody has an interest in actually working together. The entrepreneur gets people that he would otherwise have a hard time connecting to, who gets really motivated if he's involved as an investor as well as someone who makes a difference. And the investor, they get a chance, just as our project partners, our experts, to get involved and to see their money grow at the same time. Four things. One, we're all entrepreneurs. We have all been out there building companies before. Two, we are exit focused from day one. We don't get into journeys just for the fun of it. 3, we align expectations very clearly with the entrepreneurs about where to go and for how much money we want to go there, in terms of what needs to be put in and what do we need to get out in the other end. And last but not least, to get there, you need experts. You need subject matter experts that can get in and make a difference. And these people are our partners. That's the secret. Well, we think we fit into a box that is not necessarily what you expect. People ask us very often, are you venture capitalists? Because we now have a bit of ability to invest. And the answer is yes, we are making risky investments. So there's a bit of that in there, but we're not venture capitalists in the sense that we go 10 years out and see what happens. We are actually much more cautious about these shorter runs, where the exit strategy, the transaction at the end, is much more important to us. So a lot of people say, okay, so you're not really venture capitalists, so with that exit focus, you must be corporate finance guys, just in a bit of disguise. And the answer is yes, we are very transaction focused, but we do get in and work a lot with these companies. We add real consulting, real business development value to these companies. So people say, okay, if you're not corporate finance, you must be management consultants then. And we say, okay, sure, we do add value, but we're actually insiders. We are entrepreneurs. We know how to build companies, so we're not, classic consultants here. So in fact, if you want to say we are a bit of all that, but really what we are most is equity for growth companies. And we like to borrow the identity from private equity players, in the sense that they also have very sort of well planned out runs for companies, much bigger ones most often. But we do the same thing that they do for the old apple trees that need to be cut back in order for next spring to be a good one with new fresh apples coming out. And we do it for young apple trees that haven't had apples yet, but they need to grow to a point within the pot that they can actually say they're now a proper apple tree and we can deliver it to whoever needs it.